This is a teardown of a Dell Powervault MD3000i iSCSI controller. There are quite a few screws holding this thing together. There's a total of 8. 2 of them on this corner here are for the battery that helps retain memory for the controller. This is a serviceable part in these. With a thumb screw to remove this. I've never tore one of these apart, but based on the dimensions, I'm under the belief that there's 3 18650 cells under here, under this heat shrink plastic. I could be wrong, but the dimensions are about right. And according to this, oh, yeah, look at that. I never even looked at the label. So yeah, oops. This basically contains 3 Sanyo branded 18650 cells. The rating on them seems a bit odd at 2.5 volts, 6.6 amp hours, 400 milliamps, 24.4 watt hours. That must be the output of this pack and not the output of the batteries. But yeah, if your battery pack for your iSCSI controller fails, you could potentially rebuild this on your own, especially if you can't find parts. But I believe there's people that still make and sell these aftermarket, so that's not too big of a deal. Alright, the other screws are just kind of scattered all over the casing. And I believe this should slide, it's forward or up? Looks like slides up. It's been a while since I've tore one of these apart for recycling purposes. It does have a stick of memory in it, which is a stick of 512 meg DDR1 registered ECC. PC33200R. I've never tried it, but I would guess that you could probably upgrade this to have more memory, since it's just a standard DIMM slot. Maybe put a 1 gig or a 2 gig stick in. There may be firmware limitations too, though. Right here on the network controller side of things, there's 2 security torque screws, which I believe are T15s. That's a 20, so yeah, it's a 15, I think. Let's try. It is a T15. I do not have one handy, so I'm gonna have to pause. Alright, so it turns out these were T10 security screws, but the center pin was too big for the security bits that I have. So this is an LSI Logic branded network controller for the iSCSI output. It's this specialty slot connectors. Quite a few pins on that. Not sure if... do not see any label saying any counts, but nothing too exciting there. I did loosen a lot of these screws. There's 6 screws holding the board down. Also on the SAS out port, there are 2 screws there. And this just lifts out and comes up like that. I might try, I think I can get these heat sinks off. Let's see if get some leverage under them. There we go. This is a destructive teardown because these are doomed for recycling. There we go. Oh, one more I can pop off. Unfortunately, due to the thermal adhesive they used, I can't really tell what anything is. Looks like this might have a battery in it for the CMOS clock. It's a lot of pins. I unfortunately don't know what half these chips are because they're impossible to read. Looks like the main board is also LSI branded. Not too much exciting to say, I guess, because it's kind of hard to figure out what some of this stuff is. I'm guessing this is the flash memory for the operating system. I would say this is probably the main controller, and this would probably be like a backplane controller chip, considering all the internal interconnects go straight to it with differential pairs. I could not speculate what this is. Based on the pattern, my first guess would be it's a Broadcom chip, but I don't believe, I just can't see the markings. It might be a networking controller for the management port. Also, I noticed some Hynix stuff there, which is probably memory. Let's look at what I believe is flash storage first. It's upside down. I cannot read that, it's too blurry. I'm gonna guess that that's flash memory still. And then there's this Hynix chip. I don't know what that is. I do not know. I'm not experienced enough to know if Hynix makes flash storage or not. I'm guessing that's memory for this Altera chip, which means this might not be processor. This might be a RAID controller, and this might be the main processor. I'm not sure. It's kind of hard to guess on some of this stuff. I probably shouldn't guess since I don't always know what I'm talking about, and I don't always look this stuff up before making a teardown. It's really the only way I would know. But there's quite a bit on the board for this iSCSI controller. It's basically a computer, so makes sense. Got another chip under here. That might be memory. Expansion. SPANSION. I wonder if my guess of this being storage is right. Maybe these boards have redundant boot devices. I would not know since I've never managed this generation of storage controller before. So you have to excuse my rambling. I don't have plans or scripts for these. I'm just kind of winging it, tearing apart. I do this a lot with my recycling since I get a lot of stuff that's just not feasible or viable for use or resale and doesn't have any like collectible value. But hopefully people enjoy these videos. I know it's one of my favorite things with my job with recycling stuff because I get to see inside stuff and how it's made, how it's built. Doesn't make me an expert by any means, but I notice patterns sometimes and I can usually identify at least a general idea if something's memory or storage. But sorry for the ramble. Thank you for watching.